Hi, I'm Sierra McNamara, the founder of Mayu, and today is Sunday, July 8th, 2018. A lot has happened at the sanctuary since last fall, but we've saved the best for last. This video will tell you everything you want to know about the meditation garden at Mayu. In case you've been away, let's recap the last 9 months. In November, a new roof was replaced over the entire building. In December and January, we remodeled Suite C, turning it into the bamboo room for classes, drop-in, and day-long retreats. In February and March, we remodeled Suite D, turning it into the lantern room for classes, workshops, and drop-in meditation. In April, we converted the retreat room into the mind-body studio for private sessions with talk therapists, body workers, and alternative medicine practitioners. In April and May, we also moved and enlarged the candle room for drop-in meditation and the 3 foot bath stations. We expanded our retail area. And we added a tea room for informal meditation, quiet conversation, contemplative art, and mindful presentations. Opening up the reception area was the final project in upgrading the entire 5,000 square foot building. Now there's just one item left, the garden. Last summer we worked closely with the landscape architect, one of our co-op members, Jason Yoakum of Sunstone Design, to envision an outdoor meditation space as unique, inviting, and magical as Mayu's indoor spaces. So the garden is intended to be an extension of the interior meditation space where people can come and go as they please. So when you and I were discussing the plan, we were starting from scratch.
Yes, luckily you had a pretty good firm grasp on what the program would be, what elements were important to you and would be important to members, and how the garden would function already, so that really made my job a lot easier. I think the details were really important in the layout of the space because deciding how many meditators could comfortably fit in the space and giving them the right amount of privacy I think is important to making it a successfully useful space. Yeah. Certainly it's not a huge space. We had to be careful about how it was designed. Noise from the street is mitigated. People want a place of solitude, a respite from the outside world, a place for contemplation. Asian gardens, for the most part, are really inward-looking spaces.
Do you have a favorite part of the design?
It's hard not to love a good water feature. I think the water features are key to the space. One, because what I found is the movement of water really enlivens the space. The water also, of course, has a cooling, soothing, calming effect as well. So I think the main water feature is going to be a real attraction for people who enter this space. This garden it's going to be an asset for this community, and that's even beyond being a benefit for Mayu members. I can't think of any other space in Denver that's quite like this.
Of course, a design this unique requires contractors who are up to the task. We needed a team that could handle not only our unusual hardscape requirements, but also understood our unique aesthetic and our specific use of the space. We turned to Phase 1 landscapes.
What I saw is that our company really enjoys doing special projects. I think that we're unique as far as a landscape design build firm on that level. So when I saw what Sierra and Jason had done on this, I was like, well, this is a cool place and very unique, and this is a project for our firm.
Another bit of it that's very exciting is that it's adding more green space, where a lot of the new development around here is just kind of squeezing in as much dense kind of housing or townhomes. So it's nice to be able to reclaim a little bit of space in such an urban area, a place for people to be able to retreat to that's so close, to this corridor.
What we're really doing is we're creating a inward atmosphere. So if one would go stand out into the garden right now, everything is just going out to Pearl Street right to the west. But as we develop this project and the plant material starts to grow in, you won't even really know that the outside is happening because all the interest is going to be inward oriented.
Yeah, so the facade is going to change a lot, you know, from how it looks now from the street. You know, you're going to have a whole different look. It's going to be more private. People are going to be kind of inquisitive as to kind of what's going on back there. You'll have the plants along the front, and then our concrete wall, and the fence above the wall, and where the fence steps, you'll have the kind of bamboo section to bring a little bit of variety to that. You know, the walkway here, there's paving, and then our brick patio over here. So, you know, there's a lot of work that goes into the ground in the prep work that's kind of not seen.
In any construction project, you actually need to buy a lot of infrastructure, grading, retaining, irrigation, drainage, all the things that you don't see. And I think if we look at the actual landscape of a project like this, you know, we're maybe 10 or 15% max of the whole total budget.
I think the arbor here is going to be a really neat feature too, with carrying the water across over the walkway and kind of being an entry feature as well. And,
I like walks with benches on them, and so to me it's like a lot of places to stop and rest. And so that's personally what I kind of like about the design. Yeah, I think we have words that we try to describe a space like this, like unique and special and exciting and stuff, but really I think that what you're investing in here is a one-of-a-kind opportunity that I think will last for many years and just grow better and better over time.
Work on the garden is scheduled to begin September 4th. As the project ramps up, it's easy to focus on the end result, but we want to make sure we never lose sight of the garden's origins. Our neighbors here in Platt Park know it was Steve Kalaskis who created the first breathtaking garden on this property. Which is why we've decided to name this garden the Kalaskis Garden for reflection and healing.
Steve loved to be out in the garden.
He did.
He created a garden here that most everybody knew just by walking past, that it was a really special place.
You know, what's interesting is, as I reflect back on Steve's affinity for gardening, whatever it was, it certainly seemed to have blossomed with this property. Allowed Steve to be both introspective and connected to the community at the same time.
This really unique garden plot in the middle of the commercial street here is so unique. You know, everything about this property, and particularly this green space that he preserved, essentially.
I do know that while operating his business, he found the ability to be able to step out of his office and into a garden environment to be very refreshing and revitalizing, so that he could keep going forward. And the next best thing, in my mind, and even Steve and I touched on before he died, was to preserve the property. So in my mind, the logical thing to do was turn to you, and you'd expressed your interest in being able to use the garden. That seemed like a very logical extension of what had been happening and what you wanted to do for the future.
With the understanding of how much time he spent here in his reflection and in various stages of healing and such. So
somewhere he is smiling, I know.
Thank you.
Yes, the Kalaskis Garden is ambitious. It's not a small backyard getaway. It's a statement. It's a declaration that urban green spaces must be preserved, particularly in the frenzy of rapid development. It's a salute to the labor of love that came before, and an acceptance of our responsibility going forward. And it's the humble realization that friends and family, businesses and buildings are all temporary, but that nature endures. It's our intention that the Kalaskis Garden will comfort and renew visitors for generations to come. So if you've ever known the healing that comes from sitting under the open sky, please consider a donation to this unique endeavor. If you yourself look forward to spending an hour or two immersed in quiet beauty, please show your support with a contribution. And if you have friends or family in need of deep self-care, please consider a gift to Mayu's Garden in their name. It's with immense gratitude for our fiscal sponsor, Rocky Mountain Farmers Union, a 501c3 organization offering co-op education and legislation, that you can now make a tax-deductible donation to the Kalaskis Garden. Our website will give you all the details. If you would like every dollar of your donation to go directly to the garden campaign, we welcome one-time gifts and recurring monthly donations that you can make in person at Mayu or online at mayusanctuary.com. Like everything we do at Mayu Meditation Co-op, a bold vision, relentless optimism, hard work, and cooperation are how we create the future we hope for. I welcome all of you to join over 1,500 Mayu Co-op members in making Denver a little happier, a little more calm, and a little more beautiful. Thank you.